let's take a second to talk about acknowledgement, which is the first of the 7-step pyramid tier that I like to call shadow work. So acknowledgement is probably one of the easiest steps that you're going to have, because even the most insane narcissist is going to be able to acknowledge that they might have a problem, they might have a dilemma. But what actually is acknowledgement? Acknowledgement, in my experience, I don't want to speak on terms of other people, but from what I went through before working with spirits, before invoking energies, learning to be mindful of my thought processes actively as they were occurring, to release negative thought trains, and only allow positivity to be the primary focus, or a standpoint of neutrality on my mental aspect. Acknowledgement is basically, if I could use an analogy, it's like I want to leave my room, but I have to get up. So I acknowledge that I need to take an action. I acknowledge that I need to move my body. I acknowledge that I need to pick my feet up, put them on the floor, but I'm still in my room. So the end goal is to leave that room. And I acknowledge that I need to leave that room, but how do I do that? I first have to come to the conclusion that there may be a room on the other side of the room. And secondly, how do I get to that room? Well, first I gotta open the door between rooms. And acknowledgement is pretty much the doorway to inner peace, because as you're going through shadow work, I'm going to tell you now, it is a very, very big emotional roller coaster. You are going to remember and think about stuff that you haven't thought about in, decades, years. Your memories are going to start coming back. You are going to be an emotional train wreck. And I just caution everybody entering the shadow work aspect of this working, because Negredo in the alchemical stage is probably one of the most confusing phases that you could possibly begin. It is the absolute first step to go upstairs to use the bathroom. Granted, you don't have a bathroom on the first floor. So when we acknowledge that we want to do something, we need to follow that up with an action. And the universe is going to tap in. It's going to listen. Believe me, I am a very big, avid believer of paranoia. I used to be paranoid. I used to think everything was happening against me until I realized everything is happening for me. And then I had epiphany after epiphany after epiphany, and I started learning how to channel energies, take accountability for myself, and acknowledge that I need to first take action and be responsible for thyself. And only then can the universe deliver unto me gifts and blessings of grander wisdoms. But first, I must utilize the key that is within to open the door to get through to the other side. And once I take those actions, the universe is going to acknowledge that I am actively participating in my day-to-day life while being present and mindful. And I'm going to start seeing small changes at first, and then you're going to start noticing relatively big changes. Now, while you're going through these stages, you are going to be going through, when I say it's going to disrupt your life, like, you might lose everything. You might end up homeless. You might lose your girlfriend, fiance, wife, kids, mom, dad. People might start dying. You might start losing friends. You might get fired from your job. Your car might break down. And depending on how you react, if you stay grounded and remain subservient to the elements and maintain a positive outlook, perspective, and demeanor, the universe will reward you. Again, I am a big advocate for being pronoic. And I absolutely I fell in love truly with the belief that everything works in my favor, because time and time again, that has only proven to be true. No matter what happens, what tribulation I dealt with, I think back of other things that I went through, and I'm like, I'm still alive. I'm still here. I'm grateful for that. But how did it all transpire? And then I realized it's only the universe setting me up in alignment for exactly where I need to be in that moment, every moment, giving me the exact amount of information that I need every single time, every step of the way, that I am capable and able to simply comprehend in its most intrinsically simplistic form, while gently nudging me forward, preparing me for the next level, if you will, getting me ready and setting the stage for the next act, the next set, the next degree of blessings that are falling in my path. So I acknowledge that things are working in my favor, and I'm going to acknowledge that after this discussion, hopefully you have a new outlook on acknowledgement, and then I can get a little bit more in-depth going into the 2nd to 7th step. Some of these videos are going to be shorter because they are just like little pep talks, so to speak, but it's kind of just like me using corny analogies to kind of get you in like a basic understanding of like what's going to happen and prepare you, because like I said, like shadow work is intense. You will cry. You will want to die. You will literally want to jump out a window and end it. But I promise you, if you hold on, the internal degree of peace that you feel post catharsis is something else. It's like looking at a Van Gogh or a Picasso for the first time. It's confusing and you don't understand what's going on almost immediately. And the further that you clear your mind and stare at it for a little bit, the more in depth you can peel the onion back and analyze it from various axes and standpoints and get a deeper understanding of where the artist is coming from. The artist being the architect, the supreme being, the most high, of course, while you co-create within. But it just gives you a better handle on what's going on in life. And it's kind of like you get to view things from a fourth dimensional standpoint. It's like putting something in a safe, and before shadow work, you're the one putting something in the safe. After shadow work, you're the one looking through the walls of the safe to see in, while seeing around yourself and the world surrounding you in the room, if that makes sense. So hopefully this kind of, give you a nice little intro of what I'm going to be delivering. I also came up with other topics I'm going to be discussing. So, day to day, I've been kind of on a creative flow lately. So I'm going to be bringing a lot more content. I'm going to be going in very much in depth, all the way down to like significance of numbers, the significance of the alphabet, significance of symbolism and day-to-day lives and their correlation within, and things we should pay attention to that we might be overlooking, just being consumed and sidetracked with the day-to-day human experience rather than the internal spiritual experience we should be channeling. I hope everybody has a wonderful day of Jupiter, Thursday, of course. No, today's Wednesday. Never mind. Yeah, it's Thursday. Okay. I don't even know what day it is anymore. I don't even pay attention. I just know when the sun comes up, when the sun sets, and I know when the moon is where and what's, going on around me in nature. I lost track of time and days. They're just not significant to me anymore. I don't count them because I don't like to stress myself out. I feel like I'm going to prematurely age myself in doing so. But I digress. I hope everybody has a wonderful day, and I'll be back with another video.